Before Jesus of Nazareth was Christ to the Christians, he was a Jewish prophet, possibly even a dangerous rebel, and a revolutionary.
Jesus was seen by Pilate as a revolutionary who demanded public execution.
Revolutionary, apocalyptic prophet, rebel. Who was Jesus of Nazareth before he began his ministry? He was shunned by many of the leaders of his own faith and was seen as a threat to Roman rule. But with almost 20 years of his life missing from the Bible, the question remains, what might they know about him that we do not?
Scholars for centuries have debated who Jesus really was. And scholars have come up with a range of answers. Some scholars would say that he was principally a Jewish rabbi. Others would say that he was like a cynic philosopher. Others would say that he was a political revolutionary.
Jesus was seen by Pilate as a revolutionary, not just a minor nuisance, but a revolutionary who demanded public execution as a warning. Don't do what this person did.
The events that led to Jesus' death are part of every Sunday school story. But for the historians who study this period, the Bible is oddly quiet. What did Jesus do to make both the state and the religious authorities want him dead? Who was this prophet? First-century Judea is strangled by the oppressive rule of Rome and its local client kings.
Jesus was born into a world of political turmoil, of great unrest, injustice. Rome ruled the Jewish homeland through client rulers, the most famous of which was Herod the Great, who ruled the Jewish homeland from the year 37 BCE until his death in 4 BCE. When he died in 4 BCE, revolts broke out all over the Jewish homeland, in Galilee, in Judea. And the reason for this was partly the tremendous injustice that came with Roman imperial rule.
For more than 150 years before Jesus' birth, and continuing for another century after his death, Jesus' homeland, the Galilee, is the starting point for virtually every Jewish revolt against the Romans.
In the first 200 years of the Roman occupation of the Jewish homeland, we have 4 huge armed rebellions against Rome. In 4 BCE, in 66 to 74, in 115, 117 across North Africa, and in 132 to 135, the Bar Kokhba revolt.
Thousands are killed in these uprisings against Roman authority. War is not the only punishment dealt to the Judeans. Rome further squeezes the country with crushing taxes and land regulation. Luke chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
The most dangerous people are not the people who've been poor all their life and have figured out how to survive, but who were not rich, but were normal, and now something happened. So the situation around the Sea of Galilee in the 20s, as I see it, was really very similar to that question here. There was supposed to be the American dream that you worked hard and things got better. I worked hard and things got worse. Where is the justice of God when you did all the things you were supposed to do and you ended up unable to feed your family?
It is into this world that Jesus is born, a world where Judeans believed the only entity that can help them overthrow their oppressors was God.
Throughout the biblical tradition, the Jewish people had hoped for a day in which God would clean up the mess of the world, because clearly it was supposed to be a God of justice, and clearly it was a world of injustice. So the only answer was God is going to clean up the mess of the world. So surely now God's going to come. Surely it'll happen now. kingdom, in a way, is coming to be in the northwest quadrant of the Sea of Galilee in the 1st century, because that's where the action is. That's where the problem is acute.
Just as the rebellious Galilee region awaits God's imminent arrival, and just as a young Jesus of Nazareth comes of age, a radical Jewish sect in a nearby desert is preaching the end of days, and their words sound a lot like what that young man will later preach, and what will get him killed.
The beliefs that they have, that things are going to be radically transformed, getting mobs and mobs of people together and whipping people up into a frenzy of belief, that could be seen by the Romans as a threat.